Hey, Grit Brothers. Hope you all are being safe and wise during this coronavirus shut in and shut down. I also hope that you're allowing God to continue to grip your heart. As you know, one of our goals, one of our hopes for this season of Grip was that each one of us would take a step of faith and reach out to someone in our life, our pinky finger guy, who does not have yet a relationship with God through Christ. Because of the virus, you might be tempted to kind of put that to the side. And yet these hard times are often the best times to share the gospel. The Apostle Paul said it this way in Philippians chapter 1. He said this, "Now I want you to know, brothers, that my circumstances, which is my Roman imprisonment, have turned out for the greater progress of the gospel." And we might say it like this: I want you to know, my Grit Brothers, that this coronavirus pandemic can turn out for the greater progress of the gospel. God is getting people's attention, whether they know it's God or not. And he's opening up doors, and he really wants us to join him in walking through those doors, even in this environment of social distancing. So the question is, how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, the virus is a natural and obvious conversation topic these days. So let's learn one way to turn the conversation to Christ.
Carl, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, Sinclair? How's it going?
Good. I'm glad you chimed in with me, man, on Zoom.
Yeah,
Hadn't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to see your face.
Yeah, how's your family?
We're doing all right. Everyone's healthy. Yeah. How about you?
How about Jack? How's he doing?
Man, he's about to turn 1 on Friday, and he just started walking, so he's all into everything.
Bro, global pandemic, man. Isn't that crazy? Like,
man, I did not see this coming. It's just crazy how everything has changed.
How have you been affected? But
all the kids are at home now, trying to do homeschool with them, and I'm not a homeschooler. And so how that's supposed to work, but we're making it work and trying to work from home. So yeah, just a lot of change and trying to adapt to the chaos.
Yeah, my daughter's driving me crazy, man, and me and Jamie, my wife, we're trying not to kill each other, but it's good. We get some family time in, and we're really slowing down, and I'm trying to keep the main thing, man. But you know what I really realized, and I've been, just been pondering how so dependent I've been on the things, like money and my bank account and just stuff, man. It's just overwhelmed with stuff, and it's been keeping me distracted from what's really important, and that's relationships, man. My wife, my kids, just we were able to talk now, and I really miss that. And the main thing is with God, man. God has really been getting my attention, man. Instead of depending on him, I've been depending on these things, man. And can you relate? What's your thoughts on that, man?
Man, I don't know about God, but I know that I've depended on Walmart having their shelves stocked, and that is, I've not been able to depend on that lately. Can't even find the stuff that my wife wants me to bring home. But yeah, there's been some things that I relied on that aren't there for me right now.
Well, I mean, the world is slowed down. My world is slowed down. I think I'm gonna get back in touch with God, man, and more and more. And listen, but since we got time, maybe me and you can get together and talk and build, because I really need somebody to connect with and talk to, man. And
absolutely,
I enjoy this, man.
I appreciate you reaching out. It was good to chat.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, listen, man. Love on your kids and your family, man. Kiss the kids, the dog, the turtle, everybody, man. Just show some love, man.
All right, man. Say hi to Jamie for me.
I will, man. I will.
Later.
Well, thank you, Carl and Sinclair, for modeling a conversation together. I love how Sinclair took the initiative in that conversation and was very real, was very authentic. And did you notice how Sinclair turned the conversation towards spiritual things, where he, in the context of talking about the virus, said, yeah, one thing I'm learning is how dependent I am on so many other things, instead of being dependent on God. So what has God been teaching you during this coronavirus shutdown, right? Has he been teaching you the same thing? Maybe you haven't put it to words yet, but have you been subtly finding yourself more dependent on whether it's your finances, your bank account, your job security, the fact that you are in good health? Maybe even you've been dependent on the fact that you've been vigilant with washing your hands. All of those things where you're finding your security in those things instead of in your relationship with God. If God's been teaching you something like that, then use that phrase or some phrase like, hey, God's been showing me how dependent I am on other things. And you see how Sinclair at the end of that conversation just opened the door for some continuing conversation. If your friend is open to that transition to spiritual things, then continue that dialogue and answer questions that he has and share how Christ is our only security. If they don't seem open to it, then continue to pray, continue to care, and continue to look for opportunities, maybe from different angles, where you can share some aspect of your relationship with God. And remember that this is a conversation, right? It's a dialogue. It's not a monologue where you're doing all the talking. It's a dialogue and you're responding to the things that your friend brings up. So here's our challenge for you. Before our next GRIP gathering on April 20th, we would like for you to leverage the coronavirus by having a conversation with one of your unbelieving friends and simply turning that conversation so that you would share one thing that God has been teaching you during the coronavirus, maybe how dependent you are on all these other things instead of being dependent on God. And then let the Spirit take the lead and see where it goes. And guys, remember, God loves your friend and was more committed to your friend than you ever will be, right? So the pressure is off. Just be led by the Spirit and let God do his work in your friend's life. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to hearing some stories that come out of this assignment.